Move on now to the Bluest eye.
Okay, so we have two statements of concern that were filed on this book. And I guess what would be the best thing to do to run through the statement of concern on both of them, talk about the resume and the recommendation of the committee, and then public
I
comment.
think that would be all right.
All right, so we received two statements of concern. One was filed by Connie Phillips on November 19th, representing the St. Tammany Parish Library Accountability Project, on the Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. What brought this title to your attention? Content violates the state obscenity statutes, 2021 Louisiana laws revised statute. Did you review the entire item? If not, what sections did you review? They said yes. What course of action do you recommend in regard to this resource? Restrict access to minors as outlined in the statute. Require parent to check out for a minor. The book should be shelved in a section where minors do not have access. A separate place in the library. A room or some section where minors do not have entry without parent and minors cannot check out. Please state your reasons for making this recommendation. To what in the resource do you object? Be specific. This book contains profanity and derogatory terms, sexual activities, including sexual assault and molestation, alcohol use, inflammatory racial and religious commentary and references. And they cite page numbers and all of the different quotes. In its place, what materials would you recommend on this topic? Something that does not violate the state obscenity statutes for minors. And then on November 30th, Fran Smith submitted a statement of concern representing herself. What brought this title to your attention? I have heard about this book a long time ago. Did you review the entire item? If not, what sections did you review? I read enough, pages 18, 83, and 85. What course of action do you recommend in regard to this resource? Take it out of the libraries. Please state your reason for making this recommendation. To what in the resource do you object? Please be specific. It's sick. Children do not have to be exposed to this piece of garbage. What good does it do to them to read about such things? You people are foul, and I wonder what your mother would have said if you'd brought this book home to read. In its place, what materials would you recommend on this topic? Your judgment, or whoever you choose to read these books, is crude and vile, and I wouldn't trust any of you with my child's welfare. I am very concerned, now more than ever, since I have had to degrade myself reading bits and pieces of these books that you have permitted our children to read. So the Bluest Eye, we have 18 print copies at Causeway, Madisonville, Covington. We have some in administration in our book club box, Covington, Slidell. They're all shelved in adult fiction. We also have ebook copies. The copies that we have in our library system right now were purchased in October of 2004 and available on the shelf in October of 2004. Total circulation on those print copies is 316. However, I should note this book has been published since the 70s, so I'm pretty sure the library had copies before that. It's just the current copies that we have and the statistics that we have are from 2004. The circulation on the print copies were 316. The total circulated on the ebook is 20. Other libraries across the nation, this book is held in 6,034 libraries. New Orleans Public Library has it in adult fiction. Jefferson Parish Library has it in adult fiction. And Hancock County Library has it in adult fiction. So Toni Morrison, this was her first novel. She won the Nobel Prize for Literature. This particular book is a New York Times bestseller list and a 1,001 books you must read before you die. And Guardian 1,000 novels everyone must read. It's reviewed in a couple of different places, not as many current reviews because it's an older book, and usually review sources review the books that are, just being published. But Common Sense Media reviewed this book, that it's Common Sense Media says they recommend it for people ages 15 and up, and it received 5 stars. The committee that sat down to look at this, Tanya DiMaggio, the Covington branch manager, and the South Slidell circulation manager. So that was 1 male, 2 female, 1 parent, 2 without children. All 3 were white, 2 degreed librarians, and 1 staff member without a Master's of Library and Information Science. In reviewing it, we noted that the author is a Pulitzer Prize, Nobel Prize, and Presidential Medal of Freedom winner, and this book is part of the canon of American literature. While this book is not appropriate for young children, many high schools include it on their reading list, and it's taught in many colleges and universities. The sexual material in the book, we noted, was not erotic, but informs us about the characters and their development, and it illustrates complex emotions. It's realistic for its setting. It has a pretty high circulation rate at STPL with 336 circulations since 2004. It's offered as a book club selection, and it's held in adult fiction and in over 6,000 other public libraries across the country. It's currently located in adult fiction. The board could choose to put it back out in adult fiction. They could continue to restrict it behind the circulation desk, or they could remove it from the library. But the committee's recommendation was that the book should remain in the